In this week's episode, we talk about Thor, Love and Thunder.
Yeah, and the pop culture news.
This week was the premiere of the most recent MCU film, Thor, Love and Thunder, directed by Taika Waititi and starring a whole bunch of people.
Yeah, Chris Hemsworth is back as Thor. Tessa Thompson as Valkyrie. We have
Natalie Portman returns as
Jane Foster, and now the mighty Thor. We saw pretty much everybody that wasn't important. That wasn't a Thor movie. We saw it came back. People that were on the first two Thors, but they were out from the third one for some reason. And every other time the Thor showed up, we we saw the gang back together, with exception, of course, obviously, the people that died.
Yes. Because they were dead.
Yeah, even though, nobody dies on these kind of things. They always come back. But, yeah.
Do we want to spoil it?
No, let's not spoil it.
Okay.
Let's let people go and see.
It's kind of redundant to say that this is a comedy, because we already said it's a Thor movie directed by Taika Waititi. But it is a comedy. It was really funny just going into that. I still will always miss/yearn for the vibe of the first Thor movie, which is one of my favorites still out of the entire MCU. But just going into this with the expectations this is going to be very funny. It was very entertaining, very enjoyable. The Christian Bale is the villain, and Christian Bale we all know this, has absolutely zero chill and goes into all of his roles 150%, and he does that here. So it was all comedy except for Christian Bale.
Yeah.
So it sometimes felt a little odd.
Even though comedy tried to get in there, but he doesn't. He's bad, or he
he's really good at being bad.
He thinks he's doing the greatest work in the universe, but that means killing people. Villains think they are doing good. So he's focused. Nothing changes his mind. Or does it? You have to watch it. But yeah, he does great. The MCU villain problem remains.
Yeah.
Even if a good villain, they don't know how to make a good villain that's been around. Sorry, that's been around before the story of the movie.
Yeah.
And it would keep going. The threats are time limited in all the movies, and some even the worst. They move from threat to becoming an ally, a bad guy, which sure totally could happen in real life or in fiction, but not 100% of the time. And it feels like the MCU, the ones that don't die become a good guy,
Yeah.
In the MCU, either die as a villain or live long enough to become a good guy,
Yes.
Loki, Winter Soldier. Loki. For some reason, people loved, and I thought it was weak, people loved the Killmonger and wants him to come back and become Black Panther. It's so that kind of thing.
Yeah. Sure, the guy had some good points, but he was also a very bad, violent, murdery guy.
Yeah. So it's the villain problem remains, and as you said, there's the whole there's the first two Thors, and I saw this meme that sums up perfect. I posted later for everybody to see, but that's a meme.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because you have a little bit of seriousness, even darkness on the first two. The first one, he has his brother that betrays him and find out he's adopted from the bad guys, and there's this whole thing. He's betrayed by his father, etc., etc.
Yeah.
On the second one has the dark ether, the Infinity Stone that the Dark Elf is using to conquer the universe, to destroy the universe.
And Thor needs to be a hero not just because of his cool powers, but because of who he is. And that's something that makes the first one so special, is that this is a guy learning to be, like, he has powers and then he loses his powers, and that's when he becomes a hero, and that's when he learns to become a hero.
Yeah, the humbleness. He had to apply the humbleness.
So we get some real, like, well, it's kind of obvious that we're like big DC fans. So we get some of that like intense like inner struggle and anyway.
Yeah, no, they gave up on the Marvel heroes, on trying to make them the hero, the role model, the one to follow, the one to be. On Thor specifically, he's the god of thunder. He's around for hundreds of years. And on the first one, he has this human experience to comprehend, to understand how humans live, and how he has to respect and protect the weaker, the humans. And then comes the second one, and it's something similar. He's doing the same, and in the second is the reverse, because now we have Jane Foster having the divine experience. He's possessed by the ether. She goes to Asgard to meet the gods, etc., etc. And then comes the third one and the fourth one, and it's full on comedy. It's parodic. It's very pastiche. Is that a word? Like for comedy, like crazy. I have goats. I love the goats. So by all means, they're hilarious.
It's super funny. It's super entertaining. Yeah. It's a well-made, entertaining movie, but it's not like a hero film. And there's like a funny guy with powers. Yeah, and he's the butt of a lot of the jokes, and literally the butt when they showed his butt. Yes. But and that's in the trailer, so not spoiling. But the whole the character, like from God, from superhero, being demoted, being evolution was that the devolved into, it's like here he's depressed because his girlfriend left him. It's he's like saving the world out there, the universe out there, but he's still kind of depressed. He humanized them so much to the point of he's kind of pathetic, and he's still Thor, the god of thunder. And when it needed, he has the powers. He does what it needs to be done. He's willing to do the sacrifice and everything. But it lost something, like in Ragnarok was a little bit bad. He pierced his eye, right? Yeah. So there was a little bit more the things, the odds, Yeah, it felt like higher stakes. Yeah, and here was like it should be bigger, because the villain has like big plans. Yeah, but it's still like, let's go beat the gods again on the trailer. Not a spoiler. And even the new characters, the way they add the new characters, it felt like, Valkyrie's there. They have Sif for I wonder for 30 seconds. I wonder if they try to justify again. I guess that was a spoiler, but no, everybody was talking about that. That's not news. I knew about that. Yeah. But I wonder if Sif is trying to put her there to create a possibility of a show, a series, spin-off. Maybe. Because the way it was a stretch, though. If you blink, you miss it. Yeah, but that's the thing. For all intents and purposes, in the collective minds of fans and audiences out there, she was dead, right? Because a lot of people died in Ragnarok, and she was. And we haven't seen her around. We didn't see her, at all. And I don't know. Yeah. Maybe they could come up with because New Asgard is also a thing that is like, they could come up with a show that's like Valkyrie and Sif going around in adventures, a spin-off. I don't know. I felt like she being on the movie was kind of why you justify that, Sif? Yeah. Yeah. So, well, I assumed it was just sort of the because this movie felt like the end of an arc for Thor, and so bringing Sif back is kind of like, just like saying hey to some of the important people in his life, like they do in finales quite often.
But she survived, right? We assume she's alive. That's why I think
like
might be a show.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because Sif is in the mythology, she is the love of Thor. And they had a thing in the books. The impact should be bigger, and I don't think it did quite work. Anyways, the movie is funny. It's Marvel MCU, so I guess as I said, they deconstruct the hero to the point that it feels like, I mean, the movies are all the same, and it feels like, because when they go for funny, which I'm not saying it is bad, but they're not doing justice to the character. They making them all Spider-Man. Spider-Man is the character that is funny and going to adventures and kicks villains' butts, making jokes, even when the villains are terrifying. He's making jokes all the time to distract the villains, or to, give himself some confidence. And the irony is the Spider-Man goes through some of the biggest tragedies in the comic books. Yeah. But it's still, there's this this thing he does, because he started as a kid, and with what they do with Thor, and they did that in Ragnarok, and I mentioned the same thing when we saw it. It's like that's Spider-Man, and the Spider-Man, and no surprise, Spider-Man is the biggest seller in the comic book company, Marvel Comics, and he's loved by millions.
Everybody loves Spider-Man
all over the world.
Yeah,
and he's the biggest Marvel hero, and it's like, hey, let's make everybody Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's just this one, like King Valkyrie should have been such a cool character in this one, but the making this a comedy like totally undercut everything that she could have been. We never actually see her like lead the people of New Asgard. We see her do, well, I don't want to spoil any jokes, because again, very funny, but like it just felt kind of a waste of a cool character and a good actress. She didn't have any good lines. She was just there for jokes and some cool action scenes. Yeah. And I don't know. There was some really nice, and this is kind of a theme with Taika Waititi, like the importance of like romantic love and family love and all of that. So there's some really nice moments, some really nice heartfelt moments. But yeah, I just, as entertaining and as fun as it was, I miss some of that.
Yeah,
like,
it doesn't quite
like high stakes heroism. Like, it's a superhero movie, and I like to see heroes, and heroes being heroic, and not just people with powers joking around the universe.
Yeah. The Guardians of the Galaxy are there. They pop in and out pretty much as the trailer suggests. The trailer gives a lot.
It does.
Away. But it's fun. It's MCU. It does, I guess, most audiences might be, a costume might be used to and prepare to not expect much, because, even in the connectivity of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, there's nothing that connects this to anything else. There's a character at the end of the movie that has importance on the big universal things, but it's not very. It doesn't seem like it's gonna have any influence on the rest of the MCU, which kind of makes me think if it makes the character makes the character smaller than he actually is. But anyways, we're not gonna get into that. But it's MCU, and it's this it's funny. It's this new MCU, this new Disney wave of movies that has like some woke things here and there, but there's no surprise. Natalie Portman said that this would be the gayest. It was against MCU, the gayest Thor movie. She said.
a great question. I think MCU. Well, it definitely is the gayest MCU film, regardless of what she actually said. There's lots of, but none of it's like central to the story. It's just like lots of stuff happening on the side.
But, it's just like climbing in the corners of the screen.
But again, this is Taika Waititi. There's absolutely nothing surprising there. This is what he does.
Even though he got in some heat with fans because of a joke he makes, I'm not gonna get into that.
Yeah.
But the effects are beautiful. Russell Crowe is there with an accent. The trailer doesn't show that, does it?
It does, but we don't hear it very much.
Yeah. So
he only says a couple lines.
We see
Russell Crowe's performance was a standout for me, though.
Who?
Russell Crowe.
For me, it was the goats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The goats were. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to see who did the goats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alan Tudyk.
Curiosities.
Or D. Bradley Baker.
Curious about the movie, the when Thor is a little kid and he's running, that's Chris Hemsworth's kid, and there's a scene where he's with a lady wolf, and that's his wife. Okay, what else do you want to see? The music, there was like, it felt like there was a lot of Guns N' Roses. And there was a lot of like kind of, I don't know, 80s, 70s notes, even in the themes.
Yes.
And
which we thought was like kind of started in Ragnarok, so I feel like it was continuing the ideas and themes that were introduced in Ragnarok.
Yeah, and it makes me think it's like because it happened in some like pretty big epic moments. Maybe for the new Thor, for Lady Thor, the mighty Thor, Jane Foster. That it made me wonder if it was a theme for her,
Sure.
Because it's too late in the game to give Thor a theme, which kind of sucks because he's the most. You can say the most prolific of the MCU solo heroes. He has 4. Nobody else has 4.
That's true.
And
Yeah.
So they had this theme is not bad. It's just kind of, I don't know. If it's for her, maybe. If it's for him, it doesn't make sense. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was good. Michael Giacchino did the score. I still don't know if I'm saying his name right. I never will. But he did the score and picked up on all those rock and roll themes. So like the outright just like rock and roll songs that were used, like classic rock from the 70s and 80s, but then also worked in a lot of those instruments into the score, and it was cool.
Yeah, and
it's doing well at the box office. $170 million opening as of now. Expected. But
they do expect to do well, but yeah, it's fun. It's the MCU. You can go see in the theaters. If not soon enough, it's gonna be at the Disney Plus.
Yep.
But it's like the Doctor Strange. It's even though it's part of the MCU, the big MCU Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's a standalone movie. It doesn't really quite connect. Or if it does, it's on a sort of way that many years later comes Kevin Feige and says, "Oh, you know that? Yeah, that was on purpose. That was actually Spider-Man. He was in New Asgard, and he was investigating this. This is very important for the, the things they do because some fans say, hey, maybe the little girl
has to be connected all the time.
Yeah." Maybe the little girl is gonna be the Phoenix Force. It's like, yes, that's what we planned. Yeah. Anyways, so but it's a standalone movie, so don't expect like MCU Phase 4. Which Kevin Feige said recently that soon they're gonna reveal what is Phase 4. Not related, but related. Boss Logic, this artist from, I think he's from Australia. And he works on posters for Marvel and some other movies. He keeps posting images of Secret Wars. It's a big a Marvel comic saga. They involve heroes from different parts, different universes of the multiverse fighting together. And since the concept of multiverse was introduced to the MCU, we could see something like that, especially after the success of Spider-Man, the
No Way
Home, where we saw characters from different parts of the universe, the multiverse, fighting together, and gathering all sorts of fans of comic books from all types of movies, the funny ones, the more serious ones, the new ones, the old ones.
Yeah. We shall see. So, Love and Thunder, super entertaining, super funny, in theaters.
How long it was? I thought that was a bit long, wasn't it?
I don't know. I didn't pay attention.
But it was
maybe 2 hours?
2 hours? No, I felt like...
No, it was longer. Maybe 2.5 hours.
I thought it was longer because,
I'm just trying to guess, like, when we left the theater and how many trailers there were and all that.
For me, the measure is like when because the theater seats, they are comfortable, but they're not that comfortable. So 2 hours is a dot. Okay.
Oh, look at me. Look at me.
Okay. Anyways, yeah, Thor, Love and Thunder. Chris Hemsworth and his gang are back for, fighting bad guys and shenanigans. And yeah, it's open everywhere in the theaters. And yeah.
Sticking with our comedic superhero movie themes, DC has released a new animation, Teen Titans Go and DC Superhero Girls Mayhem in the Multiverse.
Yes.
A super fun, super funny crossover. But this is like supposed to be like Teen Titans Go is just straight up goofy
meta jokes about their older movies. It was pretty good.
It was very fun. And
I never actually many episodes of the Superhero Girls show. But on this one we had I don't know if they do always have, but they have a lot of characters besides the girls. Superman, Batman, Hawkman, the Green Lanterns. They have more than three actually.
Yeah, we have.
And Luthor and Legion of Doom. So they do wear a lot of characters, which I don't know if they are always popping on the show.
So like I haven't seen a ton, but most of the DC Superhero Girls that I've seen, they're short. They're like 7-minute episodes, and they tend to be kind of more lighthearted and kid oriented. And this take on these heroes, they're all about the same age.
The pizza.
Like
stuff like that.
I mean, not always that lighthearted, but like pretty low stakes.
And they're not
they're all teenagers, like they're all in high school together, so some of the ages are a little off.
And they're all disconnected, like you can watch one episode in season 3 and then one episode in season 1.
Oh yeah.
Just like Titans.
For sure.
Most of episodes of Titans.
Of Teen Titans Go. Yeah. So this, as far as I know, I could be wrong. And again, there's lots of different versions of DC Superhero Girls. Lego has done a few movies for them that are like still kind of goofy and it's Lego, but have a little bit more going on. And then there's like some graphic novels that have a slightly different style to them and are less goofy and more serious, but still made for like a kid audience. So it's nothing like really graphic or horrifying. Anyway, this one, it was basically the Teen Titans Go kind of setting up a much bigger and more serious story than DC Superhero Girls usually get. They usually don't deal with like the Legion of Doom and all that stuff. You don't usually see like much of the Justice League or like Lex Luthor or any of that. But anyway, it was really fun.
It was fun. Titans sing as usual.
Yes.
Always a good
Honestly, it's one of my favorite features of like I love, just unabashedly, unironically, really enjoy the music. Especially what's that one like when the night begins to shine. Song slays. That song is so good. Anyway,
it was for the voices, the original voices from Teen Titans Go and from Superhero Girls. I think there's anyone that works on both.
There's a little bit of overlap, but it's really like the usual. Because I know the guy that
voices Lex Luthor is Wilfredo. He does voices Kid Flash
on Teen Titans
Go.
Yeah. I can't remember if there's overlap between the two shows, but it's the usual cast of DC voice actors like Phil Lamar and Tara Strong and other names that I can't remember right now. And most of them voice 2 or 3 characters. So
it's hilarious. It's funny. It's available everywhere on Blu-ray and digital or on streaming digital. You can buy or rent. Is it
on HBO Max?
I'm not sure. It's
be.
fairly new. I'm not sure if it's on HBO Max yet.
But Anyway, this is a very fun one. Our girls really enjoy it, especially our 3-year-old. She's really into the superheroes, she calls them. She knows all their symbols and their names.
No, it's not on HBO Max yet because it's still on the rent.
Okay.
Buying.
You still need to pay for it.
Yeah, I mean, you can rent to watch and can buy to own, and also the disc is available everywhere. You can buy Blu-rays.
Yes. So super fun, good, fun family show. Another family. Well, anyway, another family animation that came out recently was the Minions sequel.
Yes, which I saw with our little girl, and it's funny. The Minions are adorable, funny, and this one we had the rise of Gru.
Yeah,
and
the little baby Gru.
Yeah, it's Steve Carell, and it's hilarious. It's doing really well on the box office because it's funny and it's classy and classic on the sense that it gives you a simple story of heroes and villains. Or development of a character of a small boy that wants to become a villain, but we know what happens to him later in the future. I guess it's okay to do mistakes when you're young, right? As long as in the future you learn from those mistakes.
Yeah,
we all did. And in this time of Gru's life, he's he wants to be a bad guy, and maybe because the fictional material he watches is about bad guys that are not bad guys, they become good guys. So
I see what you're doing there.
Anyways, so it's hilarious. It's great. The Minions they're doing great at the box office. They're beating everybody else. By everybody else, I mean every other animation. I think they are #1 animation premiere. Did I wrote something?
You said they made it to the top 10 of animated film openings.
Yeah, I think they I had the information somewhere.
Yeah.
I think they made it like to the very top. Well, let me put it this way: they made 125 millions. That's the number I put it there. I swear I changed it. Okay, they made 112 million on the opening weekend. Lightyear made 170 million after I don't know a month and a half.
Yeah.
So yeah, they knocked it out of the park. In a couple of days, they made what Lightyear made in a month. Like just burying Lightyear even more. Which makes me think there's a trailer for this new Disney animation called Strange Worlds, and it's like they're gonna release on Thanksgiving. I was like, it's like they want to lose money because
this movie is not making sense. I had the same thought, and then at the theater last night, I heard someone say it behind me that it's Pixar Avatar.
Yeah.
But not the good Avatar, the last Airbender. This is like James Cameron, Pixar. Anyway, so it looks. I don't get. I don't get why we need this film. We don't need this film.
On Thanksgiving weekend, they could release a big, Marvel movie.
Yeah.
And knock
well,
out the
they
park.
are. Wakanda Forever's coming out. Well, not Thanksgiving weekend, but Wakanda Forever's coming out November 11th.
Yeah, but that's before.
Yes.
I guess it's counting that on that weekend they're gonna make some more money
too.
But then Disney go against themselves and launch this animation. Yeah. Seriously, after the fail of Lightyear, and even before the fail, I would have released Lightyear on Disney Plus, like this new Strange World. I think they're gonna release what? Is that Pinocchio that's going to Disney Plus?
Yes. Yeah.
See, Tom Hanks. Come on, Tom Hanks alone, and yeah, but their priorities. Anyways, but you mentioned Avatar and you mentioned James Cameron, and it's on the script, but
oh, that's right.
I saw this week. He said two things. Well, first he said
the movie's not even out yet, and he's got his foot in his mouth.
Yeah, he's already like hating on the fans.
Yeah,
and it's those corporations that are marketing, their power of communications. They end up like reversing that and blaming on the fans. The fans are toxic. This is part of a bad fandom. Like when
you don't like my work because you're a bad person.
Oh, you're racist. like they did with Star Wars with Obi-Wan Kenobi lately.
Yeah.
It's like they put out crap and the fans complain. The fans complain for two reasons. First, because we love that stuff, and when you mess it, you're messing with things that are very important to us.
We know how good it can be.
Yeah.
And the expectations are high. And like there's big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
I don't envy them, but like.
And second, because we're paying for it. You're selling us stuff. It's our money that is making, Yeah. Anyways, so he was criticizing the fans. It's like he like sit the F up and watch it. Don't criticize it. It's like, the man is a megalomaniac. He's the king of the world.
Yeah. From
a long time, that he thinks he's way more than he is. And even what he is not that great, because everything he makes is kind of a copy or plagiarism, and he claims it's all from his great mind.
And, he's made I really sincerely enjoy a lot of his movies, but
Yeah, but it's like...
I don't get the Avatar thing. I don't get the hype. The first one wasn't that good.
Yeah,
it didn't feel that creative.
In Dance with Wolves and several other
major
stories.
white savior stuff.
Yeah.
To the point that even
And he claims...
And this one looks like more of the same. I'm not. Yeah. I honestly,
Anyways,
if we don't go to see it, would be fine.
Fun fact about this new Avatar, the trailer for what's it called? The Way of the Water. They had guns in the trailers, and they got digitally removed the guns out of the trailer for copies. I think it was copies of Lightyear. Yeah. Yeah, which is, anyways. Which reminds me, they show in trailers of E.T. because they're gonna have this 40-year anniversary of E.T. Screening, and then there's the kids riding their bikes, and then they show scenes with the cops holding radios and sticks, which in the original were guns, because cops use guns.
They do.
But in this case, it's like no.
Especially when they're chasing aliens.
Yeah. Anyways, another quick thing about James Cameron is that he said that after Avatar 2, he will not direct the next ones, the following sequels. Which is sure, you're right. Anyways,
the following sequels that everybody is so desperate for. Yeah. Maybe I'm missing something.
There's nothing
major.
Yeah, no, it's weak. It uses archetypes from so many other stories. The characters.
The visuals are all stuff we've seen before.
And the visuals are beautiful, but there's nothing charismatic. There's nothing dramatic. There's nothing that makes us feel empathy or sympathy. There's some characters that you love, right away. You meet them, you identify with them when you were young, or someone you met when you were young, or someone you met now, or someone you know now. And the way what they do, what they feel, what they are, you identify with those characters. You never thought there's nothing like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My life does not feel different. But some movies you watch and it's like, okay, my life is different now.
It's long.
And my life, I don't understand. But anyway, okay, something we did watch that really whoa, so good. The second part of Stranger Things Season 2 came out. Was it this week?
It was last Friday.
And holy guacamole. It was so good. And it just about destroyed Netflix.
And it was coveted. It was waited on the first minutes of the show, midnight Friday.
Yeah.
It broke the servers.
Yeah.
It crashed. People couldn't try to watch it. They couldn't because too many people wanted to watch. It broke the Nielsen record on the first hours. It broke the record for the most hours watched in a week.
Yeah.
It broke on the first hours.
Yeah, Stranger Things 4 topped 1 billion with a B hours viewed from after the Volume 2 release. This was huge, and frankly, it deserved the hype. It delivered. Yeah. I was worried because, high expectations. I was like, I don't know, man, this...
The way they finished part 1, I had really good expectations for part 2. Something that I thought thought it would happen, but it didn't happen. Something that wasn't a surprise. Everything was made in a way that was like, it was very
so
very fulfilling. It was really good. I'm pretty sure everybody loved it, even though people find some not saying they're toxic, but some people are very very picky,
and some people are just wrong. And that's not a toxic trait. That's just like, well,
there's a tiny spoiler. There's a scene where some character grabs a sword and fights a monster. And someone's like, why there's a sword there? Fun fact, there's the Conan sword from the movie Conan. They use the same sword. And
it does make sense. You might need a minute to remember, but it does. It is explained. In the first part, it's.
But
honestly, that scene, my first thought was like, where did he get that? You know what? I don't even care. Yeah. This is amazing. But no, it was so good.
It was awesome. Everything was really well done.
Yeah.
And it ends on a cliffhanger for us. Like, whoa. You sure you're gonna finish this next season?
And I keep. So what happens with these Stranger Things? We watch a season or we watch an episode. I think like this is it. There's no way that they can maintain like this level of quality and interest. Like it's just, we all remember what happened with Game of Thrones. Like there's just no way the next season can be this good. And it always is. And then with this one, I was like, no way. Like, I was totally wrong. It's amazing. You have to watch it. It totally deserves all the hype. And the Duffer brothers are doing great, and they're coming out with more. They've launched Upside Down Pictures with Netflix, and they're going to work on a Stranger Things spin-off. I don't even care what it's about. It's just, they've done such incredible writing with this show.
Among the things we know and the things we don't know, it was, the things we learned from the season finale, but also the things we still don't know. That was on the news yesterday that on season 5, we're gonna find out what is the Upside Down.
Oh, well, that's good.
You know, among the things you know about it and among the things we don't know about it, there's plenty more to know.
Yeah, okay. They're also, so they've got the Stranger Things spinoff. They're going to work on a Death Note series or movie.
I think it's a series.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Way of the Talisman series as well.
Yeah. My dad is coming to visit us from Sweden next month, and this is like the top of his list. What? To catch up on Stranger Things.
Did not have Netflix there?
I don't know if he doesn't have Netflix or if it's not available there or what the deal is, because it seems like something that would be very popular in Sweden.
That's so weird.
But yeah, he's like, yes, grandchildren, but also Stranger Things.
Huh.
So, and The Mandalorian, just FYI.
Sure,
Those are the coming back to America.
Kenobi, is he still behind? He's still in the...
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
But anyway, we get to watch it again. Yeah, so that's all the stuff that we've been watching. New stuff in the last week or so. Box office, everything. There's a lot of fun and good things out there to watch. We also saw some anything else about?
No, it was really good. It was talking about Thor that felt long. Stranger Things, it was over long because there was an episode that was like 2 hours.
Yeah. And I wanted more.
But they did it so well that nothing feels long or dragging or even the timing is not messed. I mean, there's a little bit there, but it's because you're dealing with different dimensions. I guess you can justify some when we have some of the characters are missing for too long. But besides that, it's really well done.
They're really good writers. The episode is 2 hours because they had 2 hours worth of story to tell. And I think they've been consistently good at that throughout the show. Like, we get the number of episodes, the length of episodes that is needed to tell the story. There's nothing filler, nothing gets stretched or anything. Like, they just, so good. So good. Okay, total mood shift. Kevin Smith, we saw the trailer for Kevin Smith's Clerks 3, and it looks really fun.
Yeah.
And funny.
So Random and what's the name of the other guy? Dante. Back to the screen. And this time they gonna tell a story inside the story.
Yeah. It's very like the layers of like meta storytelling are extensive.
Yeah, after watching so many movies, Randall decides to make a movie, and that's
no, isn't it Jay who decides to make the movie?
No.
Sure.
No, it's not Jay. Jay and Silent Bob, as they said in the trailer, they're kind of secondary characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's one of the clerks
who
that decides to make a movie, which it all goes back to this clerk back in the day that decides to make a movie, and this clerk was Kevin Smith, and so it was like super meta.
Yeah, it's meta within the movie. It's meta. Yeah, lots of layers.
But yeah, so it seems like everybody's coming back. Kevin Smith and Jay, whatever his last name is, can't remember. The Clerks, Rosario Dawson, that was on the second Clerks, and yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, it looks fun. It's like everything that we, all the fun stuff from the previous ones. You know, hockey on the roof, and yeah, it looks like a fun movie. And then we also saw a trailer for a new David O. Russell film called Amsterdam. That like the cast alone. In the trailer, they just like big names were just like popping up for like half a second, and it's just anyway.
Yeah, and he does cool. less. I don't know, 3 out of 4 out of 5 productions he made went on to be nominated and winning some Oscars.
Yeah, for good reason.
On American Hustle, we had Jennifer Lawrence, and we had Bradley Cooper. We had Christian Bale. We had so many others. And the one before, we had Silver Lining Playbook. He had Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Lawrence, Robert De Niro. So De Niro is back on this one. Christian Bale is back on this one. So he's you know, it seems that he's doing what he's doing, working on big stars, on big interesting stories. And this one have Robert De Niro, Christian Bale,
Margot Robbie, Anya Taylor-Joy, John David Washington. And like Zoe Saldana shows up at one point.
Does she?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. There's
Taylor
the cast.
Swift. Yeah.
And it seems like a cool story. It's like someone is suspected of murder, but they didn't commit the murder, and there's like lots of layers of mystery and intrigue and all kinds of cool stuff. So it looks like a really cool, interesting movie from someone who has consistently delivered cool, interesting movies. I didn't get release dates for any of these.
Well,
but they're coming
soon.
Sometime. Yeah. Okay, a couple renewals. So Magnum PI was canceled at CBS, but then NBC has picked them up for 2 more seasons.
Yeah. They not only picked them up, they picked it up for 2 more seasons.
Yeah.
Impressive.
So that's nice for them. And then Evil has gotten a season 4 renewal from Paramount Plus.
Yeah, season was canceled on CBS after 2 seasons, 1 season. Anyways, came. I think I put a note there, didn't I? Evil, where is it? Evil. Yeah. Okay.
That was all you got.
So it got a 3rd season on Paramount Plus and just got a 4th one. Which I don't know. The show looks interesting, not that interesting.
This is the one about like exorcisms and stuff.
It's the one about evil. So
okay.
It has exorcism. It has monsters, aliens, and like. It didn't. I mean, the main character is the guy from Luke Cage, and I guess I don't know. Maybe Luke Cage kind of tarnished his image for me because I don't think Luke Cage is that great. Of all the Netflix shows, and Netflix did a lot of Marvel terrific shows. Luke Cage was okay. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't.
I feel like they did the opposite of what the Duffer Brothers did. Where they told, like the Duffer Brothers, like they had a 2-hour episode because they had 2 hours of story worth to tell. This one, they had like 3 episodes worth of story to tell, and just like stretched it out. Like it was hard to watch.
Yes.
It was too much. Because the character's cool, and I really like him when he shows up in the other Marvel series.
Yeah.
I think he was a great addition, and
I don't know, for me as a comic book fan, long time comic book fan, graphic novel fan.
Yes.
They had Cage and they had Jessica, and they were not a thing. It's like they had a baby together. Anyways, I felt like it's like, yeah.
It's hard enjoying adaptations when you're really familiar with and love the source material. Yeah.
Because we are toxic. That's why.
This seems to be a good example of, like, so the streaming services got a little out of control, like, in that there's so many, and now we're kind of back to where originally we could unplug from cable and, like, save some money, and now you have to subscribe to, like, all these. But this is a good example of where, like, a streaming service can make some, like, cool content that's a little bit more niche and maybe wouldn't work so well on broadcast, but might be really successful on streaming. Anyway, Nexstar. We got some more info about the Nexstar CW.
So the deal is getting close to be fulfilled, to be accomplished. And Nexstar gonna pay a whopping amount of $0 for CW.
Yeah.
That's what CW worth? Well, they are willing to acquire the debt that the company has is around $100 million.
You said, yeah.
But it's kind of sad that the company is like, hey, we want to buy you. Say, how much you want to pay? It's nothing. Yeah.
And that CW is like, yeah, that's okay.
Sure, yeah, take it.
Yeah.
We out.
Oh well. That's okay. There's so much. Really, all I like, most of what I like on the CW is other places are doing it better. Like the DC hero shows, HBO Max is giving us better stuff, and like, it's okay. Yeah, I'm not upset about it.
Yeah, it's where we're gonna see steamy teenagers fighting bad guys, or witches, or supernatural stuff. Even though Supernatural got a spin-off coming soon this fall, so is Walker got a spin-off coming soon this fall. Yeah.
Good for them. Good for them. Okay, Taron Egerton says he's been chatting with Marvel about maybe picking up a major X-Men role.
And people saying is Wolverine. There's a lot of rumors of Wolverine. He got buff for another role, but people might say it's for this one. There's rumors he's a good actor. I don't know. I feel he's like young.
He is very young.
But Wolverine, he ages really slowly. Yeah. I guess I can justify that he's... Yeah. Anyways.
And you can scruff him up a bit. The cigar and, like, the dirty wife beater and the what do you call those? Mutton chops?
Sure.
The big sideburns.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could see it. It would be a cool opportunity, but also I don't envy whoever is going to take over from Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman has basically defined that role on the screen. So
yeah, but again, if the multiverse, they can meet, and would make $1 billion.
And they can just, like, grunt at each other. They don't have to say anything.
Yeah.
But
quick ones about the MCU. Rumors about Ben Grimm, the Thing on She-Hulk. And also there's rumors that oh gosh, what was the other show? There's a group I just saw this. It's never mind. I'm not gonna say it. I can't remember.
Okay. Well, Disney has a $5,000 Star Wars cocktail, and
it's this big.
This is at the... Really?
You saw the video?
I didn't see the video because I don't drink and I don't need more reasons to...
It's like...
feel bad about not spending, like, bajillions of dollars on that resort.
You grab the little cup. Yeah.
So I guess it's a whole experience.
Which is like, there's nothing on Star Wars. Like, oh, I really wanted to drink that. I mean, there's the blue milk. Sure, that's it. Anything else, it's money grab for the toxic fans.
It's not. Yeah, nothing in Star Wars is a culinary experience. We've got Luke's, like, well, as Yoda says, like, how do you get so big eating food like that? It's yeah. Anyways, so that's a thing. if you want to spend more money on Star Wars stuff at Disney. San Diego Comic-Con is coming back for the first time in a very long time.
Since 2019.
So July 21st to July 24th. Nope. Yes.
Yeah.
My brain.
They already announced dates for Dungeons and Dragons, for What We Do in the Shadows, for what else? So many things. Anyways, they're coming back full force. Hall H and everything else.
So get ready for lots of announcements and content and trailers and all that other stuff to be coming out. And then also, anything else?
No, keep talking. I'm trying to remember.
And then God of War Ragnarok. We've got a release day for it.
Yeah,
we started with Thor and we'll end with the
it might
Norse
see Thor. It might
pantheon.
See Thor. The post-credit scene, the secret scene in the first game was Thor coming with his thunders to fight Kratos. November. PlayStation 5 and Xbox, whatever they call the next generation of Xbox. So
November 9th of this year is very nice. So he put this on our little script. It just says Ragnarok 11/9/22. So I'm like, great, that's the date for the end of the world. It's not. It's just a video game.
No, Ragnarok is not the end of the world.
Isn't it?
It's it's the end of the gods.
Oh, that feels pretty.
It's when the gods die.
Apocalyptic.
Yeah. But
either way.
If Nietzsche and some people out there are right, so the right happened, right? So, and we're still going around, eating our bacons and paying overpriced gas and watching some shows that was like, what? But I guess that's it for this week. We come back next week with more. We're going to see the season finale of Barry on HBO Max. Is that the other thing we're finishing this week? I think that was... we might finish Miss Marvel. Finish this next week. We saw the season finale of Strange New Worlds. It was good. Not going to talk a lot about it. But, it ends well.
But this is Star Trek for Star Trek fans.
It ends well. And like you said, the stuff that it's streaming... able to do, very niche. Apparently Star Trek became that because it's good enough to sustain, to keep streaming service alive, but apparently doesn't do broadcast TV. No Star Treks or generics like what's the show called?
The Orville.
Even that one got kicked out and went to streaming. But hey, on streaming you have the chance to do greater stuff like season 4 of Stranger Things is nothing but like a 18-hour movie. Really well done. Anyway, so we come back next week for more. I don't remember what we're watching, but we will watch.
We'll watch something and then we'll come here and we'll talk about it.
Even if we need to go outside and watch ice melting. That would be quick.
It's so hot.
It's pretty hot. Anyways, that's it for this week. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your grandma, and you can always send suggestions of what we want to talk. Books, comic books, video games, etc. We are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere you can find podcasts. Also Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And may the force be with you.
Live long and prosper.
Bye.
Bye.